In late spring of 24, I had 7 full nights at my disposal to track down some carp. Arriving in the Alps under low cloud cover at first light, I launched the drone up over a huge sheet of glacial water. Saturday's never a great day to arrive on public venues, so the plan was to use the day to find some fish before even considering wetting a line. 8 drone batteries later and I'd found all of 2 carp, swimming at speed into deep water, having lightly spent the night feeding in one of the many harbours that surround the lake. My search continued by boat, and although I found a good-sized fish, my initial plan was about to be turned upside down. The mountainous weather took a severe change, with high winds arriving out of nowhere and forecast to last for several days. This adventure would have to wait for another time. With darkness fast approaching, I stopped in on a smaller glacial lake. I think the less said about that night the better, so I was on the move again on Sunday morning, eventually deciding on a shallower, far more manageable lake a few hours' drive away. Okay, we're all set up. The first time that the farmer has decided to mow this field is the same day that I've arrived on the lake. We must have left it all spring. We're just into June now, 1st of June today. I think it's 1st of June, yeah, 1st of June, and he's decided to mow it. 2 different farmers, and he's mowed it for me. I've realistically got to be that side of the fence, but he didn't seem to mind. I didn't have anything this side of the fence. He didn't seem to mind when he saw me, but my rods were right out in the water. I didn't realise what the snag situation was like over there, and now I've seen just how snaggy it is. There's no possible way of getting to the rods quick enough if they're out in the water. So to avoid losing any carp or minimising losses, we've got them right back here. We're fishing across probably 200-250 metres over to the back there. Am I confident? Absolutely 100%. This is a proper reservoir. I think we've got every chance. We've come onto this reservoir. It's full of carp, absolutely full of them. I'm quite far away there. Move that a bit. Yeah, and it's been non-stop. I've come up one of the arms. The water level's so high that that all the trees on the far bank are underwater, and it's quite an obvious holding spot. So all the rods, one's gone down the side, but all the rods have gone across. I've put 10 kilos of shrimp and scopic squid in, and Yeah, they're proper bait fishing here. They're absolutely having it. Loads of small ones. I think I've had 7 or 8 last night. This is, believe it or not, this is one of the bigger ones. This is probably, I don't know, upper 20. Lovely dark fish. You'd associate that with a canal, not a reservoir. Okay. This is the second biggest. Lovely. Yeah. Yeah, this has got to be about 30 pounds, maybe slightly more. I have been wrapping the bait, but I don't think there's any need. The pike angler over there told me that there were crayfish in here, but I've not seen any signs yet. Wonderful. Excellent, right. We're going to weigh the biggest one. That'll gauge what these are like, but yeah, this is probably about 30 pounds. Wonderful. And we've managed to do all of them without getting a take. I wonder if, yeah, it's interesting. All the my rods went out about 3 PM yesterday afternoon, so I wonder if it is all night action. We'll see. Okay, my estimations were a little bit heavy today, so the other one might not have even made 30 pounds. This one is 30 pounds and a few ounces. You know what, the other one might have even been bigger than this, but anyway, a lovely reservoir carp. One day I'm sure it will be very big, but not at the moment. Beautiful. So yeah, two of around 30 pounds, a few 20s and a few doubles. We lost one where we had 2 takes at the same time, and it took me into the snags. So I've actually come right back from the snags. You don't need to be tight, as I've learnt. So, yeah, lesson learnt. I would have had him if I wasn't out in the water playing a different fish. Right, let's enjoy this 30 pound mirror and hope that we get a bigger one. That's a nice looker. It's nice to get one during the day. It's 11:30. I was fast asleep, desperate need of sleep. Yeah, it's been a lot of driving in the first day, so I literally didn't get any sleep first day. I got 6 hours second, and I must have got 2 or 3 last night. So we got a good few hours sleep this morning, well, from 8 till 11, and then we got woken up by a take. First one during, well, it's the first time I've really day fished, so it's another small one. We're going to have to play the numbers game. There definitely are bigger ones in here, so we've just got to wait and hope that a shoal of bigger carp comes our way. But this is a lovely scaled one. Possibly not even that up double. Beautiful fish. Let's just quickly turn him round. It might be worth a rod out in open water to try and pick off a bigger carp. When you're getting takes, you like to think it's a numbers game, and a shoal of bigger carp will come your way sooner or later. We've only done the one night. Yeah, we'll see how we go. I need to get back to the car at some point. In the excitement of trying to get over here, I only bought one jumper and it's just about okay at the moment, but the nights aren't particularly comfortable when you've got wet clothes on. So I wouldn't mind it warming up for that reason. Beautiful little carp. It's common. A bit bigger. That's the best common we've had so far. Probably about 30 pounds. Okay. Okay. She's gone. She splashed everything. Yeah, so what are we on? We're on 20 to 3. I'm going to bring the rods this way. I'm going to fish the deepest water. I'm going to fish double 24mm hook baits and single 24s. And we're going to just see if we can just find, I need sleep anyway, we're just going to see if we can find a group of bigger carp away from the snags and away from all those small ones, because I think I've had 11 or 12 now. It could be the numbers game. Maybe I should try it one more night, but I think I need to bring the rods this way. Let's see if we can pick off a bigger carp in the deep channel. If I think back to historical times on lakes like this, there have been times where the bigger fish have come away from where the smaller ones are. I do think I've had some of the females. That common I just had there was, I think that was a female that had spawned. But again, they're very small carp, and the word on the street is that this has produced much bigger carp and a few of them. So let's bring the rods this way tonight. There'll definitely be way less action, but there's the outside chance of picking off a bigger carp. I think that's what we'll do. Change of tack. This is almost like a wild carp. I've had a few of these. There's a local angler that's just moved in 70 metres to my right. To be fair to him, he couldn't see me here, so he seems pretty relaxed. He's told me about the stock in here and it's given me renewed confidence. I think I've been quite unlucky to get so many small ones. I've lost count of how many I've caught, probably 15, 16 fish now. And this is the bigger size. These are the bigger ones. These are the bigger size. Again, around 30 pounds. Oh, it's puffing. Okay. Right, we've got bite cam on the alarms. I'm just having some. What am I eating? Coconut rice with Prince's chicken curry. Rationing count. We've just had a rationing count. 25 times 6 or 8 ounce leads left. 15 kilos of bait. Bearing in mind, I grabbed 30 kilo out of the car, shoved it in the boat and motored up here. So we've used about 50. Excuse me, just had a Heineken. 15 kilos in the first 24 hours. So 15 more kilos, 25 leads, which is the most worrying thing. I think I'm probably using 15 a day. Hoodies are drying because we've had this crosswind all the time, this northerly. Hoodies are drying, so I do have an extra. I've got 2 hoodies. I thought I had 1. I've actually got 2. And then the second most important thing behind leads is battery capacity. I've got 50% of my lithium plus 1 leisure battery. Now that lithium's supposed to last about 5 to 6 leisures. So that's probably about, to be honest with you, I reckon that's 2 leisures plus the 1 leisure. Bearing in mind, I'm boating 200 metres across and you have to come back on a force 3 because of the crosswind. I reckon I've got 48 hours left on the battery count. So that is not ideal. In the car we've got 2 extra leisure batteries, one 1 3/4 charged, and we've got plenty of leads and plenty of bait. So we're okay. We're going to stick 2 out in open water tonight and 2 off the snags. That will hopefully allow me a little bit more sleep and maybe pick up a bigger carp. Okay, I think we've hooked a better fish here. I'm sure of it, in fact. Sure this is a better fish. Don't want to lose it at this stage. It's been a long fight to get it back this far. See bubbles coming up out there. Speeding up a bit. Speeding up. Maybe it's not a big fish after all. All 200 metres in, he's fought like an absolute Trojan. It's not even a big un, you little bastard. It's not very big at all. All the way in I thought that was a better carp, but no, I'm struggling to get through these smaller ones. God. This is a little male. Oh God. Don't get me all wet. Still got loads of power, unbelievable. So we've got 2 rods that we've put into open water in 6 metres. I'm fishing in 2 metres over the back. We've got 2, we'll have 2 long and then 2 in 6 metres in the middle of nowhere really. But it's something different. And we'll play the numbers game on the 2 long rods, but we persevere, we persevere. No! should have had a bite on this rod by now. Something wrong. We're at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning. Got cold last night, so temperatures have changed. We've got warm days up to 22, 23. Finally, we've got some June weather, but nights are cold. It went down to 6 last night. It's difficult to believe this was actually the biggest fish that I caught, and then the only rods left out are the open water, which didn't do anything. So yeah, what we're going to do, basically I'm bivvying up in the hay in the field that he's just freshly cut, and then I'm bringing the stuff back this side of the wire outside of his land during the daytime, because it's, you know, I don't think you're meant to. He's always given me the wave, but he's seen every day that my stuff is just this side, the right side of the wire fence. It's a half an hour mission to be doing it backwards and forwards each side of the fence, and it's all sludgy this side. So basically, when I arrived 2 days ago, he cut the grass, and then yesterday they scabbled it and they got it ready for collecting with the hay bales. I don't know anything about farming, but Google tells me that they now need to wait 3 days before for the moisture content to drop to the point where they're able to hay bale it. So on that note, I'm going to leave it where it is, and I'm going to row back to the car, which is a long way away, to get fresh supplies of leads and bait, and we go again. There's always the debate about whether or not you move. You know, it's going through your mind. It's going through your mind all the time. There's no way of knowing what the right answer is, but given we're catching consistently here, I think we stay put, and we persist. We put a lot more bait in today, and do it properly again for a couple more nights, and just see if a group of bigger fish, maybe the bigger fish are over there and the smaller ones are just getting there first, and they're more excited after spawning. I don't know, or they're hungrier after spawning. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the big fish just aren't over there. Maybe they're in a different part of the lake. If they are, then we've made the wrong call and we might move in a night or two's time. But generally speaking, we've got a good section of water to ourselves, and matey boy just up there, but I'm not too worried about him. I've got a good 150 metre stretch of snag line over there. We'll come back from the snag line. What I figured, it goes 1.5 to 2 metres on the snag line, and it gradually drops away into about 5. Anywhere back up to 20 metres from the snag line, I'm getting takes, but the ground goes from a firm bottom to a choddy bottom in 5 metres. I'm tending just to keep the. I don't mind chod, but I just want to keep the rigs clean, and we'll fish just on the 4 metre section on the firmer bottom. So it's kind of away from the snags. It's well away. You know, I've actually only lost one fish in about 20, and that was where it took me into the snags while I was playing another carp. So rigs and bait are working fine. There's no problem with that. It's just a case of whether or not the big carp are here. So this was the biggest. It's a beautiful half linear, but it's not very big. There she is, probably about upper 20. So I've been back to the car this morning. It's a long old row back there and back. We've been flitting about. We put 6 or 7 kilos out on the first night across a very large stretch of the snags, and we had a load of takes. I was rationing a little bit yesterday. Whether or not it had any difference, I don't know, but I didn't get anywhere near as many runs, and we've just had smaller carp. So I've given it 10 kilos in a shorter stretch directly across from me, where there's least chance of people coming either side of me and cutting me off. The matey boy up to my right, or left as I look at you, he's gone. He didn't have anything, but he was only fishing in close. But to try and maximise my chances and nick a bite during the day, I've actually put 2 right real long up to the snags where I hadn't put any bait in, and a bit tighter. I'm mega close to the rods here, and I've only lost 1 carp, and that was where I had 2 takes at the same time. So yeah, 2 have gone tight, and then I've got 2 left tight down into my bay to the left. So I've put a landing net down there, so if I get a take, I'm basically going to wade along and without the boat, because it's you can't really fish it with the boat. I've put the baits in with the boat, but I'm fishing virtually 90 degrees, and they're also just going around the reeds a little bit. So it's awkward fishing, but it's worth a rod during daytime, when really I'm just trying to maximise the chance, really. You know, if you think in the UK, for day ticket, if you're on a day ticket water and you just had that little bait down there to yourself, you feel quite confident of a couple of takes at least during the day. But when you're session fishing, it's very easy to it's such hard work, even just putting a couple of rods down there. Given I'm based here, and that's 50 metres away, you know, what do? Do you leave it all here, reel them in and just have a couple of rods over there? Most of the time you just don't bother doing it, but that's where you might miss. I don't know the lake, so for all I know, the big carp could feed during the day. It's highly unlikely, but you just never know. So it's worth the extra effort just to get a couple of rods down there, a couple of rods off the bait, just to nick an extra bite during the day. My theory, or what Google told me about the hay baling, still might be the case, but of course they came straight back through today and re-aired the grass just to keep it loose and keep the air to it, I'm assuming, so that it dries out quicker and they can bale it. So yeah, typically I've not seen anyone in 48 hours come along this bank. I go back to, while I'm halfway back, I see 2 people walking up this field. Fortunately it was the angler up to my right, and a pike angler, so I was safe, but he did warn me you shouldn't really be leaving your stuff like that, but had to get back to the car. Yeah, nothing really more to report. We chill out and we wait for tonight. We let the 10 kilos just sit there. If any carp drift past it, they know it's there. You know, they might sample the odd bait this afternoon, but really they'll get their heads down tonight. That's the theory. We've got 7 or 8 rigs tied up, ready to go. It's just really a case of patience now. This has got absolutely no weight to it. I can tell you now it's another double or a low 20. Listen to all the frogs laughing at me. They're saying, look, John's over with all the small males. All the big females around down the other end of the lake. We've got our bonus take. No surprise, it's a small male. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe not quite as small, common. Maybe slightly very common. Better fish. Excellent, that's a better fish. So it's 9:50 in the morning on Wednesday. We've got a lovely common here, beautiful common. Okay. Oh, what a magical common. Right, excellent. What a superb carp. They cut the grass and then they scabble it to air it and get the moisture out of it. And literally within 2 days with the right weather, they've now almost channeled it up into these channels of hay, ready for hay baling. You learn something new on every trip. God, look at that smoke. Look at that pollution. Meanwhile, okay, he's gone right under that line. It really isn't that bad, to be honest. I don't mind that at all. We come round this way. Oh, lovely, look at this. Wonderful. Oh, we watch out. We don't tread on Mr. Carp. We don't hook up. Okay, and we make our way through the reeds. God, he's gone miles. That's bigger fish, isn't it? Definitely a bigger fish. It's got it all wrapped around him. It's going to net him. Like that. Okay. There we are. Lovely fish. Okay, the lunges are quite big on this one. I think it is a better fish. Oh, it's found a snag. It's found the same snag that previous fish found. Thankfully he's come off. Oh, it's moving quick now. That's not a big fish, is it? Today there's been a run of big fish, so... Oh, it is a massive fish. That is a massive one. Do not rush it. Come on, up you come. Yeah, that is a very big carp. Very big carp. Just got to pray for a good hook hold. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise that the other one came off, because I would have been playing that when this would have run. This fish has woken up big time. Just going to give it a quick burst. And up. Okay. Quick burst to get over that line. Okay, we've got it's definitely a much bigger fish. Oh yes. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I think that's a 50. Okay. Not quite as big as I thought, but still an amazing fish. God, flipping heck. Looking at it, to be honest with you, I think it looks £50, but it isn't. It goes around 48 to 49, somewhere in that range. There we are, lovely fish. Beautiful carp. Absolutely beautiful reservoir carp. Like I said, a group of bigger fish clearly came in on the heavy baiting. It's just, there we are. Lovely. Poke my head out over the top. That is a beautiful carp. Absolutely beautiful carp. We've got 5 kilos of monster shrimp in there with a load of water. We're going to take a nice globule of the monster shrimp syrup, chuck that in there, and we're going to put another 5 kilos in. Give it a good shake up. Put a little bit more of that in. Right, we're going to bait from this little bay here, or this tree here. We're going to bait from there down about 100 meters. So like this, spreading the bait. Some quite close, and probably up to, I don't know, 20 meters back from the snags. Nice spread. We're going to do this all the way down, so let's just put one more in there and we'll move down a bit. Just tickle on the motor. The majority of the bait will go directly in front of the bivvy across, just because it's the shortest distance. I don't want to be realistically, I could have fished from here, which is half the distance from me, and just fished the snags further up, but that's a little bit more open. You know, you've got no idea whether or not the farmer wants you in his field. I'm right down in the corner here, out of the way, not causing any problems, so it's a bit of a compromise. And now I know my swim, I know where the snags are. For all I know, there could be snags further out, there could be issues here, there and everywhere, so it's worth the extra rowing and the extra effort. Now we're settled. It's only shallow in there, but you can imagine them getting right up the back. It's probably only 2 foot deep, but I bet they're all in there. Come and have some monster shrimp boilies. Right, that'll do. I've nearly done the bucket. It's probably about 8 kilos I've put in. And the baits go about 15 metres, about here, about 10 metres back from them. Let's just put a few more out. Yeah, this is the sort of spot that the bait goes. We want them grubbing around everywhere, because there's a lot of fish in here, clearly. We want bites to be coming first light so we can get them on video. How do you like that theory? Okay, Thursday morning. The sun is just rising over there. Oh, and we have left-hand rod as a wave. And it's another flipping small common. How many of these have we had? Little monkey. Went 33. Yeah, not holding anything to their guts. Beautiful mirror there. They're about 1 metre long. That's probably about beautifully scaled one. I've got some tigers, I may as well start using them up. Beautiful, look up. Okay. See you later, alligator. Right. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, you've joined me late afternoon. I've got a take, it's gone under this line. Oh, big common. Oh, straight. Okay, 5:35 p.m. How's this for a common? What a beautiful common that is. Absolutely fantastic. As you can see, the weather's changed. We've got a wonderful westerly wind coming up here now, and it's cooler and overcast. I've had 4 takes today. Yeah, it's looking good for tonight. Hopefully we get a big one. But while we wait for the big one, that's not a bad backup fish, is it? Oh! Oh! Where am I? Flipping heck, I'm miles down the bank. Absolutely miles. Just got to hope these branches don't go right out in the water, because if they do, potential lost fish. In doubt, shake. He's going again. He's going again. Come on. Oh, straight down the. Wow, 2 wader full of water. Okay, was he worth it? No, it's not as big as I thought. Not as big as I thought. Okay, you can probably see from the sky it's about to bucket down. The calm before the storm, as they say. Wind suddenly died off. Oh, don't you dare go. And we've just videoed that common. We only got one side, and then this one roared off, which I legged it for, got to it. Took me 200 meters. I said 400. It was 200 meters down the bank, and it's a male, a very strong male, which is why it was such an effort to bring in. Solid male. Solid male. Okay, we're into another one. It's coming in easy now. That doesn't really mean too much if it's kiting, but yeah, we're in the middle of drying out the waders and everything else, and the right hand rod has gone, which has produced most of the bites today. And it's produced most of the bites today because we didn't fish at this spot. Oh, we didn't fish this spot yesterday. We left it baited, and today it's producing all the bites. Beautiful fish, absolutely beautiful. Again, it's very, very lean now that they've spawned, but when they look like that, that is a solid fish. Solid fish. So we have a mug of sugary coffee. We have the last can of 10 Heinekens. Been in a serious calorie deficit this week, which is good. I've been working out pretty hard. In fact, since November, it's now June, so 7 months worth of hitting the gym 4 or 5 times a week, and then running at the weekends. So yeah, I've lost about, this isn't a fitness vlog, by the way, far from it, but I've lost about 5 or 6 kilos, and I've put on a fair bit of lean muscle, so all good. But it's been a very, very hectic week since Sunday on the fishing front. Oh, we're away. So on one of these, I'm absolutely praying for that slow thud and that shaking and it just coming in, because that's what the big fish do. They don't fight. They don't absolutely. This one's pulling so hard that I'm having to back one here at over 200 metres out. That is the sign of a 25-pound male charging across, and that's what it's been like all week. Absolutely charging across. Did I mention something about a 25-pound mirror? I would say it's about a 25-pound mirror. Lovely. Handful right over the top. One of them of tigers. We are ready to rock and roll. Okay, that's perfect timing. Yeah, so we've just had that. It was probably an upper 20. That I'm assuming it was a male, but I don't know how many there are in here, but you'd have thought I've caught most of them by now. Perfect timing. The lamp's ready to go. It's been on charge all day. There's these brilliant birds that are coming through the field. They look like herons, but they're more like storks. They've got a funny bill. I must look up what their name is. I should know it. There's one just over here now. Let me just turn that around quickly. That's something you wouldn't see in the UK. It's pretty cool. Can you hear the frogs at it once again? So yeah, where were we? I don't really know where we were. I've had my coffee. I'm going to have my last Heineken and get ready for the pack up tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit wetter tomorrow, which I think will be good for the fishing, but realistically we're going to be away by lunchtime. So probably rods in 10, back to the car for 12. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy having a night. I didn't sleep in the waders last night, but every night before that I've basically spent the night, if I've had any sleep, lying with my legs off the side of the bed chair with the waders on, and they're a bit damp and horrible near the bottom. I've tried to dry them out with a towel, but it's hopeless without having these on. You're fishing relatively close to snags, and this is squelchy, horrible mud here. Absolutely horrible stuff. That's interesting. The water level's actually gone down by about just under a foot, I'd have said, in the week. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, it's not particularly pleasant sleeping in waders, but I've not really got a choice. You can hit the fish and play it in for a bit and then put them on, but that's just a load of hassle that basically means you're going to have to put the rod down, or you won't be in control of that fish for a period of that fight. There's actually, I didn't realise there was a night zone down there. I've seen the signs for it. I'm just outside of it, but the farmer seems fine where I am. You can actually, I think you can fish to this area anyway, just with a long old tow from the night zone. Those inside rods haven't been doing the takes today. They have done in the last couple of days. They've been just as good as spots, but I don't know, often you can tell there's something up with the rig, whether or not the carp that have been feeding in that area have sussed it out, or whether or not it's just sitting funny or whatever. But quite often, if the rod hasn't done anything and the others have done bites, something's wrong, and really you should redo it. 4 rods is too many anyway. We've spoken about that already, so I'm not too fussed. I'll just leave them and then I'll wind one in as and when I get a load of action. But I think certainly one, I can't remember which one I did this morning, it's been out there all day and hasn't had a bite, whereas I've had 2 bites on the outside, on both outside rods. So I think there's either the fish are coming in like this, which is quite possible, but that hasn't been the case before. I've often had them on the middle rods as well. So, but no, it's nice without any wind, lovely and warm. We will have the last beer and we will keep our fingers crossed for a big one. Okay, Saturday morning, finally a shoal of bigger fish has moved through. I've got 7 of the finest to show you. I haven't actually had a wink of sleep because the moment the rods go out, they get you get takes. This is a nice beautifully heavily scaled mid-30. Look at that. That is a flipping nice fish, isn't it? What a bar of wonder. That is a beautiful carp. Absolutely beautiful carp. I say the smaller ones are like peas in a pod. I think the bigger ones are like peas in a pod as well. This one went 45. It's pooing out tiger nuts with monster shrimp and scopex. I can see all the different browns and the reds from those baits coming out in the bottom of this sack. Okay, lovely. Okay. Oh, isn't that beautiful with that sun on it? This is a slightly oranger one, but very similar shape. Oh, amazing, absolutely amazing. I wonder if I stayed another night, whether or not I'd get anything much bigger, but... Okay, so let's just go through some of the smaller ones that we had last night. Much bigger average than before. This is mid-30. Wonderful. What absolutely wonderful reservoir carp. I just did all of these and realised I hadn't pressed the record button. So yeah, lovely half linear this one. Again, mid-30 range. Okay. The last two looked identical, so I've put one back, and then I'll show you this one. A very long fish, very long, in fact. It's not a bad fish, is it? Okay. Yes, got her. Okay, so the rods are in. Pike anglers have just gone through. It's a Saturday, so it will be a nightmare today. That indicates the time for me to go. Fantastic end to the trip. I didn't get one of the big ones, but hey, I got second prize. Got a brace of 20 kilos on the final day. Okay. Come on. Fabulous. What a wonderful reservoir carp. I think I've probably had near on 50 carp, probably averaging 10 a day. And in those 50, I've had 320 kilos. About 1 in every 17 fish has been at 20 kilo. Amazing. Great end to the trip.